After the huge success of the previous video on the channel where I created a fan-made poster for One Piece live action series adaptation coming on Netflix next year, the poster design got so much appreciation on social media, especially Facebook and Instagram as you can see, so SAMY CHAFFAI, the cosplayer on this poster design, contacted me and asked me if I can create something else or another poster using this photo. As you can see, this photo is already edited, so it's a huge challenge to create something beautiful with it. Just before we start this video, I want to thank everyone who supported me even before creating this channel, and I want to welcome to the new friends joining us for the first time. Just don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit this notification bell. This will help me a lot to keep creating and deliver something better in the future. And if you missed the previous One Piece video editing, you can watch it later when you finish this video. You can find it in the description below and in the first comment as well. For any freelance work or collaborations, you can contact me on my email DizerVision@gmail.com or my Instagram DizerVision. Well, let's stop talking now and jump into the video. As you can see, this is the photo we are going to work on it, and to skip the boring work, I already extracted the body from this white background using pencil. I duplicated in case it messed up, and I create a copy of the arms as well because I will need them later. Then I added this background, and for people don't follow the anime, something epic happened here. Of course I will not talk about it here, and this is the main reason to create this Photoshop manipulation. Then using the lasso tool and warp, I've tried to extend this shirt from this side. After that, like it's obvious, I turned this red shirt to black using a hue and saturation adjustment layer. For the arms, I don't need these prominent veins, so I select and remove them using the content to refill and fix some details using clone stamp tool. Then move into the background, add an Gaussian blur filter, create a mask and paint. Next I added an empty layer, double click to open the layer style box, turn off the transparency shapes layer and change the blend mode to linear dodge and paint on these mirrors, adding this glow and shine effect. Then I matched the color of the body with the background using the color balance adjustment layer and add a brightness and saturation adjustment layer to decrease these bright parts of the body. To create the highlights, I used the exposure adjustment layer, changed the blend mode to luminosity and paint. Then go into the next and hard part of this editing to create the haki on these arms, and this one would be harder than the previous video I made, For that I don't use the same technique because this photo is already edited like I mentioned before, and some parts already noisy and lost details. As you can see, I turn it to black and white using hue and saturation adjustment layer and fix some parts here and there using brightness and contrast adjustment layer. Then I create a curve and add points in the form of zigzag to create the metal effect. This took me so much time to create it, and then I fixed some issues using the brightness and contrast adjustment layer and the exposure as well. And in the end I paint with a solid color on his fist and fingers because we don't have those details from the original photo. Then I did the same thing with the other arm but with a few changes. In this scene, Luffy wears another black hat above his straw hat, so I add this one and try to warp it to match the shape of this straw hat. Then I noticed that there is an issue in the chest, maybe the pose was wrong or something, so I fixed it as you can see. Then I added some shadows here and there on the body and removed this hair using the content refill and the clone stamp tool. And now coming to the fun part, which is creating the highlights on the face on the body, and here I used the exposure adjustment layer, changed the blend mode to luminosity and paint, and finish with adding a curve to add more details. as you can see, I added these glass pieces and blur it using Gaussian blur filter. Then I add an empty layer, change the blend mode to linear dodge, and paint to add a shiny effect. And for the final retouch, I added this flare effect. At this point, I just finished the editing by adding the official One Piece series logo and the cast names, but sorry in Haki, I changed your name with SAMY CHAFFAI in this poster. Then I merged everything together, and with the camera raw filter I tweaked some values, and there you go, the final result. In the end, I have just to say I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to support me, subscribe, like and comment below your thoughts and feedbacks, or if you have any suggestions for the upcoming videos. Until the next video, stay safe, keep creating and have a great day.